overnight. It's important to bring skilled labour into the country, but tighter limits need to be set. Calls for a bravery award for a young Australian who made the ultimate sacrifice. Think you're a good speller? These kids might make you think twice. Should you get time off if you lose your four-legged friend? Plus, she's adored worldwide and you'll adore her too when British songstress Ellie Goulding joins us live. This is The Project.
Good evening, welcome to Friday night fun night at The Project. We've got Fifi Box, Waleed Ali and Pete Hellier. And bless you too, you just sneezed there before.
Oh, yes, no, I just sneezed there. Thank you, Carrie. I didn't realise, I'm usually not here on Friday. Liam usually does Friday. I didn't realise Friday was fun night. When did that happen?
Yes,
that's all
much
good.
better than Monday to Thursday.
It didn't happen when you stopped turning up.
Right, well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
We'll see if it is Friday night fun night tonight. Let's see what's happening in the news today, Friday the 30th of May. And a gang of armed men have clubbed a 69-year-old man to death during a violent home invasion in Sydney's West. Keith Senior's partner Lucy was also seriously injured when they were attacked in their Badgerys Creek home. Police, family and friends are at a loss to explain why they were targeted.
And the worst thing for me is he was my best friend.
10 News Eyewitness News reporter Joe Hill joins us with the latest. Joe, this is a really shocking attack, particularly given how old the couple were. Do police have any idea what the motive was?
Well, Waleed, they had a number of different motives, but the most prominent one that they were saying today was that this appears to be a robbery gone wrong. And there are reports this afternoon suggesting that Keith Senior had actually sold a large amount of pigs. He made about $10,000 in a Chinatown transaction yesterday. So there was a suggestion that somebody would have known that he'd made that sale and would have had all of that cash in his home. But this attack, suffice it to say, it's just the lowest of the low. Keith Senior is 69 years old. His partner Lucy is 67. These three men smashed in through a front window. Now, police wouldn't say whether or not there was a confrontation or how things got so out of hand, but Keith has ended up dying in his home there after he was clubbed to death. Now, his partner Lucy, the 67-year-old, she was taken to hospital. She suffered severe cuts to her head. Her arm was broken. Her wrist was also broken. But she is recovering. She's in a stable condition. The community response to this has obviously been a big outpouring of grief, but revulsion as well, that a gang of men would target people so vulnerable in their own homes.
Absolutely. Just horrible, Joe. Thank you so much for the update. Some more news now. A Canberra inquiry has recommended the man convicted 19 years ago of murdering Federal Police Assistant Commissioner Colin Winchester be pardoned and released. The inquiry's found David Eastman's conviction was a substantial miscarriage of justice and that his conviction be quashed. A New South Wales inquiry into the alleged cover-up of child abuse within the Catholic Church has found whistleblower detective Peter Fox to be an unsatisfactory witness. It determined Fox gave untruthful evidence and had become obsessive, but it found no evidence senior officers tried to block investigations. Warren Ross has been handed a maximum 40-year sentence for the 2011 bashing murder of his 2-year-old stepdaughter, Tanilla Warwick Deves. The toddler was killed after she endured terrible and prolonged torture. He'll be eligible for parole in 2041.
There is no doubt this crime is one that is particularly heinous. No person with any modicum of humanity could not be moved by the circumstances of this murder.
And it may not be quite like catching a cold, but a worldwide study seems to suggest that pregnancy is indeed contagious. Women are more likely to want kids and consider having a child if their friends are getting knocked up, especially if they've been mates since high school.
Yeah, I've gone onto the pill. I'm not taking any risks.
It is one hell of a disease. Like, it hangs around for life.
It does. My wife got 3 pregnancies off me. There was swelling, and you can't get rid of the little niggles.
There's truth to it. Like, you know, I find in friendship circles, one person gets pregnant and then everyone...
I think in my experience, you envy it and you go, I'd love that. But if you're not in a position to do it, so if you're not in a relationship or you're not financially set up, you're not just going to go and do it because I want one.
I think that's true, because it's a lot of pressure to put on a friendship. Like, if you get pregnant and your friend doesn't, like, does that mean that you hate them and they hate you?
No, but do you know what? There's often cases where one person gets pregnant and the other one doesn't, and it can cause real problems in friendships. I know I've turned this really serious, but it's genuinely quite true.
Name some names, Carrie. It is Friday fun night. And Later in the show, we're going to be looking at the National Spelling Bee in the US, which is become a massive event, and it's awesome. And the kids they're extremely intelligent, they're brave, and they're also pretty funny.
Gutatum.
Gutatum.
Also gutatum.
Gutatum, gutatum. Language of origin.
You say it.
You say gutatum, I say gutatum. These kids are so smart. They even set up future opportunities for themselves, all right? Judging by this girl's wave, I think she has her eye on either being the next Miss Universe or the future Queen of England.
Exocorion. E-X-O-C-O-R-I-O-N. Exocorion.
That means she gets it wrong. Look how she handles it.
Is spelled E-X-O-C-H-O-R-I-O-N.
Oh, that's my third instinct.
And then look at that, she sets it up. The next career, that is the Royal Majestic Wave, ladies and gentlemen. She is waving her way to magic, to be royal or something.
There's a real issue with the ding for when they get it wrong.
It's confusing.
It should be like bum bum. Like the ding sounds happy.
Or maybe a
happy.
bum, more of a bum bum. I'm not sure of that noise. I agree with you in principle.
Sorry, I'm going to take a break.
Let's go to a break, I reckon.
Coming up, in January 2011, 13-year-old Jordan Rice made the ultimate sacrifice. There was talk by politicians of a bravery award, but over 3 years later, were they just empty gestures? You're watching The Project.
We're back with The Project.
Some more news now, and police are warning women not to exercise alone after a man tried to sexually assault 2 female joggers in Melbourne's east. They're investigating whether the assaults could be linked to 4 similar attacks across town. One victim described her attacker as an everyday bloke.
He was white and he had these round glasses on, kind of like Harry Potter. Like he looked like a normal guy.
And it seems Shane Warne's recent full moon party at his Melbourne nightclub was a success. He's reportedly hooked up with model Emily Scott, who was the DJ on the night. They've been snapped getting cosy at a birthday party in Sydney for boxing legend Jeff Fennick. What is a full moon party?
I don't know, but come on, guys. I mean, Warnie's a very private person. A bit of respect for Warnie. Let's not talk about his private life, do we, please?
But I think it's great because Liz is now dating someone new and those photos have been plastered over magazines, so good on
Everyone's
Warnie.
moved on.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think it's great to meet Warnie's future ex-girlfriend. I think it is.
It's nice. So the Channel 10 executive, if they look at my computer searches today, I was just looking up, doing some research of his new girlfriend, so that's why those photos are there.
There has been a huge groundswell of support for a young Sydney mum who fired up on Facebook over the way strangers judged her parenting skills. Bridget Harris's post received more than 100 responses, with many women saying they've had to contend with the same sort of behaviour. And Bridget joins us now. Bridget, good on you for writing what we all think. Talk us through some of these crazy moments you had in this terrible day, some of the worst ones.
The checkout chick stating that my daughter must be lonely because she doesn't have a sibling. Another man frowned down at me because my daughter was playing with my iPhone. So, yeah, all in all, Monday was a pretty crap day.
I can imagine. Well, what's it like being told by someone at a checkout that you need to procreate more?
Yeah, it's awkward, I have to say. Especially when she doesn't know my name.
Yeah, she could at least take you out for dinner first. I think that's a fair point.
That's right. I know. Where's the romance gone?
Actually, I'm interested, Bridget, in knowing who was doing this generally. Were they other parents, or were they people who don't have kids and simply have no idea what it's like?
Only one of them actually had a child present, and that was a father at the park who proceeded to tell me that my daughter was to stay away from small children because she accidentally stepped on his hand.
Bridget, did you find, before I had a baby, I used to be a tiny bit judgmental, thinking, well, I wouldn't do that, when I looked at some of my friends having kids. Did you think that before you had kids? Were you often looking, going, oh, come on, you shouldn't do that?
I'm human. I mean, you know, I probably judged once or twice, but, you know, now being a mum, I know how hard it is sometimes. And I just think we deserve to be cut some slack.
And there's a big difference between judging in silence and judging overtly.
That's right. I think there's a fine line between having an opinion and nudging somebody in a post office and saying what you think. I just think that that's rude.
Do you feel better now that you've got it off your chest?
I do. I do, thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on. Good on you for writing it, and yeah, enjoy the dummy and the iPhone, yeah?
Thank you.
She's not using the dummy, you know, that's not good.
But we already feel guilty giving the iPhone over to the kid. We don't need the tut-tut as well. Just let us feel guilty on our own, privately.
The question is, while she was doing an interview, where was the kid? I mean, you know, my sister, she works in childcare. She's an amazing mum, and she got told off down the shops because her kid had a dummy in his mouth, and they're like, oh, he's too old for that. And it's like, come on.
I'm not going to be 20 and still got a dummy in their mouth.
Well, he was actually 20, to be honest, so...
Well, time for a break now. Back in a moment. Welcome back. You're watching The Project. Some more news now. And Tony Abbott has launched a charm offensive in a bid to woo crossbench senators who could make or break his federal budget. The PM's keen to meet Palmer United Senator Dio Wang, but he'll have to wait to speak with Ricky Muir, the motoring enthusiast, Stephen, party. Apparently he can't get time off work to come to Canberra.
Sorry, no one else has heard of that party either, so don't worry about it.
A Sydney woman has been accused of using online dating services to fleece lovesick older men of their life savings. 39-year-old Sana Durbis allegedly spent more than $2 million on plastic surgery, cars, designer handbags and holidays. She's been charged with fraud and money laundering.
This is truly a cruel and unfair story where a number of victims